Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. So this video is about PancakeSwap, which recently deployed on Solana. So PancakeSwap is one of the best DEXs out there. It's definitely the best for you to yield farm and provide liquidity on the BNB chain. And they also have very interesting pools on Ethereum layer 2s, mainly on Base. I did a video recently about Base liquidity pools being heavily incentivized right now with blue chip asset pools. Here on PancakeSwap, they're being heavily incentivized with Cake, and now more recently they deployed on Solana. So Solana is a different blockchain. It's not a Ethereum layer 2. It uses different coding than Ethereum, and it's Ethereum's main rival right now, but it's definitely a top blockchain. It handles a lot of volume, and right now the TVL for PancakeSwap on Solana is over $61 million, which is not a lot, and the volume, it's a bit underwhelming. It's not even 10 million, although today's a weekend. But if you go and compare these numbers with Orca, with Radium, with Meteora, the biggest DEXs on Solana, you'll see there's a lot more volume there, and the volume will be higher than the TVL. So most of the trading on Solana is centered on those three DEXs, but PancakeSwap still does have really nice pools yielding right now, and since they deployed so recently, there's a lot of incentives also on the table. So there's a couple of very interesting pairs here. Solana with Bonk. Bonk is one of the main meme coins on Solana. You see here the volume, 1.7 million, the TVL $424,000, and it's being also incentivized. 22% of the APR is being incentivized in Cake. And Cake is a really nice token. It has 2.8 of value right now. Will it hit 5 in this bull run? I don't know, but I think it's a $5 token at the very least. I don't think it will hit all-time high getting to $20, 30, 40 as it did back in 2021, but I think it's a really solid token, and I personally expect it to be at around $5 price. That would be a more fair price to Cake. But let's keep seeing here what else there's on the table. So Solana and USDC, great pair if you're looking for exposure to the Solana blockchain. This pair should be a staple on your portfolio. So here it is, 5 million in volume, 328,000 TVL. So this one is definitely printing. And look at these Cake incentives, 314% incentives paid in Cake. So with this amount of incentives, and also the trading fees are triple digits, 170%. But with this sort of incentives, I'm very tempted to take my liquidity from Orca and other DEXs and move it here to farm these Cake incentives. That's the whole point of protocols providing incentives to liquidity pools, is to attract liquidity. And if you follow my videos for a while, you know I keep telling you this: go for incentivized pools because they are the cherry on top of the cake. And this is a way for PancakeSwap to attract users to provide liquidity and also to trade on their own liquidity pools on Solana, because they are very recently deployed here. So Solana with Baby Doge, I'm not sure about Baby Doge, not very familiar with that meme coin. I don't hold any, but it's also being incentivized. Solana paired with USDT, heavy Cake incentives 200%. Also a really nice volume to TVL ratio, $140,000 TVL, 474,000 in volume on a weekend. So in the weekdays, this is probably going to be much higher. Solana Pocket, what else do we have here? Solana BM, this one has 20% Cake incentives. Even Cake USDT pools on Solana, I don't think this will have all that much action, at least in the beginning. A couple months later on down the road, maybe this will change, but even on the Binance Smart Chain, Cake pools don't have the highest amount of volume. They're much more worth it for the Cake incentives, and this goes the same way. Also the same for Cake USDC, 20% Cake incentives. So roughly the same in here, Cake paired with the stablecoin. GP USDC, this GP token has been pumping for the past week. Really good option to yield farm on. What else we have here? Coinbase's tokenized version of Bitcoin paired with USDC, 425% Cake incentives in a blue chip assets pool. So this is definitely something worthwhile. Right now the TVL is extremely low for a Bitcoin pool, $17,600. Volume is almost 10x that, so definitely a very much worthwhile pool. Solana also paired with Coinbase Bitcoin, also 474% Cake incentive. So these are insane incentives on blue chip assets pools. Really great options, and those are actually the reason why I'm making this video, because these sort of incentives, they are great yield farming opportunities. So if you're getting started, Go with blue chip asset pools. These ones are being incentivized. You can definitely use PancakeSwap to earn this nice yield. And let's see the trade fees. Triple digits on this one, 104%. This one a bit lower, 76%, but still, it's blue chip assets and they have the cherry on top, which are the cake incentives. Then let's see what else we have here. USDS, USDC. So this one is also very interesting. Not only because it has an extremely high volume to TVL ratio, but also look at these incentives. 83% paid in cake for a stablecoin pool. Very interesting option. Also, if you're looking for more conservative options, stablecoins, this is a pool that won't leave you exposed to market volatility, although these assets can depeg. Just throwing it out there in case maybe you're a beginner and you think they cannot depeg. Well, they can, so pay attention to that. Although they are both very reputable stablecoins, so probably that's not going to be an issue. And again, while the TVL is rather low, there will not be as much competition for the incentives, so the faster you get in, the better. Then we have Pump USDC, also heavy cake incentives on this one. Solana with Fartcoin, extremely high cake incentives on this one. And also note that there's the ending date here, so the 1st of August, this is when the incentives are come to an end. We have 4 days in the meanwhile, so do go check it out, these pools, before the incentives come to an end. After that, maybe they will launch another wave of incentives. I don't know, not sure. But every major liquidity pair here on Solana is being heavily incentivized with cake right now. Useless, Popcat, Solana with wrapped Bitcoin, CBBTC with USDT. So you can see there's definitely a ton of options here. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Go get those incentives. There's still 3-4 days depending when you're watching the video for this come to an end. Hopefully there will be another wave of cake incentives on these liquidity pools on Solana. So let's see. So guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Take care, keep exploring crypto. I'll see you on the next one.